Have you ever wondered where ethics and morals have gone in today's world? I think about it daily with everything that I see in this world. Have you ever really thought about the things today that are considered okay and right compared to about 20, 30 years ago? What was once considered wrong is now right? Like what? And the things that are wrong have become right, and right has become wrong. Just as the Bible warns us in Isaiah 5:20-25, woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who put darkness for light and light for darkness, who put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Who Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe to men mighty at drinking wine. Woe to men valiant for mixing intoxicating drink, who justify the wicked for a bribe and take away justice from the righteous man. Therefore, as the fire devours the stubble and the flame consumes the shaft, so their root will be as rottenness, and their blossom will ascend like dust, because they have rejected the law of the Lord host and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel. Anyway, that's a piece of the scripture that kind of tells us exactly what's going on right now. I mean, those who will call evil good and good evil, those who are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight, the mighty at drinking wine. They think they're valiant for mixing the drinks. Wicked for a bribe. Justifying themselves. Our government is allowing this all to happen. Slowly and progressively, the lines between right and wrong have become blurred. Slowly and progressively. There's several biblical principles that this nation has stood on that have been demoralized. I'm sure we can all name several. But today I'm going to talk to you about one, and that's substance abuse. And that kind of brings me to the first point, which is marijuana. I don't know if you've noticed, but marijuana, when I was a kid, was not legal at all. It's something that you would run from the cops from, and you would end up getting prison time. It's not something that you could just go to a co-op and buy whenever you felt like it, and that's what we are doing today. It has been legalized, I think, in almost every state. It went as a slow progression over time. Marijuana became more and more okay. I know when I was a kid, that's not something that you wanted to do out in the open. And now people actually smoke it right out in the open. I would have gotten really big trouble if I had been caught, because I do have a past with it. And I thought that it was wrong in the beginning. And then I got to this point as I became an adult, and it just kind of, everybody was talking about how it's natural, they were justifying it. And so it slowly, progressively, and it became legalized. The government is who said it was okay. And if the government says it's okay, then it should be okay. And so that's the slow progression with marijuana that I saw. And it's very prominent today. This graph actually just shows kind of the marketing and how much money base that we have on both legal and illegal, because, in some states it's still not quite there yet. But if you check out California, that is California. We're way off the charts here. And then the tax revenue, like, how much money are they actually making? This is 2017, and now this is 2020. Wow. I mean, this is state sales tax right here, and this is the cannabis retail taxes. And it's incredible. Incredible. So a lot of it has to do with money, and we can see that. The second one that that everybody can see is alcohol and prescription meds. Now, prescription meds, first off, it's all legal. All this is legal. And prescription meds are handed out like candy by your doctor. They're highly, highly addictive. And you know what? Both of them kill. Both of them kill. And I want to show you the amount of people that have reported the use of these illicit drugs or any of the prescription drugs, any of the other street type of drugs, marijuana, heroin, cocaine, you name it, meth. All of those 53 million people, and that was just the people that reported it. 19% that says 12 years of age and older. There is 331 million people in the world as the start of, or not world, sorry, the US as at the start of 2020. So 53 million people reported it. Now that's not to mention all the other people that haven't reported it. That's a lot. That's a lot. And it's a lot when these drugs do kill. Alcohol kills. It's really, really, really super sad. I came across the CDC. The cost effectiveness, they're saying, is excessive drinking is draining the U.S. economy. It's said to have been known to kill more than 95,000 people a year. And this was actually, I think this was 2010. They haven't really updated much on their website, which I was very, very surprised to see. But it's talking about money. And you know what their idea, it's all the way down here at the bottom. Their idea to reduce the economic cost, which is what they're worried about more so, is implementing pricing strategies to increase the price of alcohol. Now, granted, that would cause people to not, be able to buy it as much, but where there's a will, there's a way. But it's about money, just as your drug companies, all that is about money. It's your farm tech. They make money off of the doctors prescribing you. But it destroys people, and we don't even come up with the money or the funds for rehabilitation anymore. That's why we have so many people in our prison systems. There is no rehabilitation. They say it is, but it's not. It is a vicious cycle. As soon as their feet hit the ground running after they get out, it's the same vicious cycle. And where do they end up? They end up on the streets. They end up homeless. That's what happens. They end up homeless and on our streets. And I knew that the percentage was really, really high for homeless. The amount of homeless people that are on the streets because of substance abuse. I knew it was high. And so when I did look into it, I was quite right in finding that UCLA, this is a graph, UCLA study versus LA Times study, and the LA Homeless Society Association. They came up with some percentages, and it's quite interesting. I thought it was at least 90%. So it came to 84% as far as UCLA. And you know what? These are only, they say on a given night is usually how they do this. Their statistics for it. It's on a given night. Which means they're under. They have to be under. I mean, these are the ones that they think are the homeless. Which ones are on drugs? But the funny thing is you can add both of these together, the mental illness and the substance abuse, because most of those are derived from substance abuse. It causes the mental issue. It causes the health conditions. Add them all together, and what do you got? Most of our homeless population is caused by substance abuse. Now, Professor Gunn, you asked me, you asked me, is it really normal to see naked people running up and down the streets? Well, yes, it is. It's very normal today. I live in Chico, California, and it's very normal for me to go to work in the morning and have a naked man darting in and out of traffic, or standing at an intersection talking to themselves. Strange behavior, aggressive behavior, you name it, we've got it here. And it's not just here. It used to not be like this. A few years back, it was not. Now it is. And smaller towns are starting to see a lot more. So, naked people in a town near you coming soon is what I would predict. It's everywhere, and it is becoming the norm to our children, and it is becoming the norm to our children to see all these tents lined up along the sides of the sidewalks and in the parks. These are things we didn't see just even like quite a few, 3-4 years ago. We didn't see this. This is when it just started kind of really getting nitty gritty, and now we're starting to become like Skid Row in LA. It's really sad because we don't have any rehabilitation programs for these people. The government don't seem to have a plan for the U.S. at all when it comes to homelessness, and most of it does not really eradicate for all the homeless. That the core problem is the addiction. And then you and I both know that the core problem to that is because they are not Christians. They don't have God. And that's what I'm trying to get to the whole point of this is our viewing of the way things have become with marijuana, with homelessness and substance abuse, the alcohol, prescription drugs, all of it. It's wrong, and people are viewing it as it's okay and it's right. It's the norm. It's not the norm. It's wrong. And until everyone starts to see that we need God in our lives, our viewpoints are not going to change. They are progressively going to change to things being okay. All right, I can tolerate that. And before you know it, that's what's right. Didn't you know? I think the only way to change it is for us to shine our own lights on to everyone else, and try to bring more to Christ. It's the only way I can see any of this turning around, because we were warned, and it's getting worse. So I would hope that everybody would stand up. We need to stand up. We need to stand up for God and our rights and take them back and prove what's right again is right and what's wrong is wrong. Night.